Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro on our Celebrate International Animation Day month featurette where we're highlighting Laika Studios and all of their releases. And now we've come to the final one. We've come full circle to 2009's Coraline. Now this is going to be a longer video than the rest. Not only am I going to speak about Coraline, but I'm going to speak about my thoughts on the studio now that I've seen all of their movies and the effect I feel like the studio's made, just my thoughts on the studio on the whole, all the work they're doing, and what I think of their future. So let's start with Coraline so we can wrap things up. So Coraline is a 2009 stop motion animated feature that was actually directed by, I believe, the same director who made The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm pretty sure it was him. And this is an adaptation of Neil Gaiman's book. Now, Neil Gaiman is a prolific novelist and comic book writer. I think I've reviewed two of his books before, American Gods and The Graveyard Book. I like his writing style, and I have to say, Neil Gaiman and stop motion, they go hand in hand, and I think this story is perfect for this stop motion for Laika Studios and their animation style. So if you don't know what Coraline is about this young girl, and when the movie starts, she's moved with her family into this new house, and her family, I think they have this funny career. I think they're planters or they're working on some catalog, and they've just moved into this house and they're very busy, and they're kind of neglecting Coraline, and even the way they're neglecting her, I would argue and say it's not even that bad neglect. They're just very distracted, but you can see they care about her. Coraline, as a character, she's a bit of a bloody brat, to be honest with you. It makes her character interesting and fun to watch, but she has got this weird bratty attitude, and she's very, yeah, whatever, man, and just very, very, I wouldn't say hostile, but just bratty in general. And she's bored that her parents aren't giving her attention, that the house is falling apart that they moved into, don't get me wrong. And funny enough, this is actually reminding me of a lot of Pixar's Inside Out, because this is a very similar plot they're going on, which children and they're stupid. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so basically, she's in the house, she meets some weird people that lives in her building, and she meets this weird quirky kid, and it all relates to, she finds a door in this house that when she goes through the door, it takes her to, like, let's just say a parallel version of her reality, where there's an exact version of her parents that are nicer, and the world is like an opposite world where everything is fun, where everything is adventurous. The only difference is her parents in this other parallel dimension have buttons for eyes, which is really kind of freaky, and they give her everything she wants, and you can see there's something sinister going on. But all throughout the movie, she keeps going back to this parallel reality, and things are so great in this parallel reality. And by the end of the movie, things turn very nefarious. There's a big, you kind of see where it's going. So it's kind of a predictable plot, but it's a fun kind of fantasy, take you on an adventure, taking you out of this world. I don't want to say spirited away, but this kind of taking you out where you've never been before, living your wildest dreams. What did I think of the movie overall? Now, this is the first movie Laika's done, and I've praised them on their stop motion, but this is the first movie they ever did. And I have to say, as a starting point, I could notice that the evolution of their future movies, you can see this was the starting point because of all of their movies. And although this one was very well detailed, very beautiful overall, this is the most stop motion looky movie because the motion isn't as smooth as it is in the following movies, in, you know, Paranorman and Kubo and Box Trolls. They got the animation so smooth for stop motion, it almost looks like beautiful CG animation. But you can tell that, you know, it's a little bit choppy here and there, and this is what I'm used to. I mean, if I saw this movie back in 2009, you can clearly see a stop motion, and Laika have improved so much, and it's not a hindrance against the movie. I'm just saying, this is the level that we usually see in stop motion. This is the level Laika started at, and it's perfectly fine, perfectly satisfactory. The story, again, didn't blow me away, But the movie did have a lot of colourful characters. I think Coraline is a very confident, strong-minded, although snobbish kind of character that is very interesting to watch. And she's very selfish and she's kind of ungrateful, but when things get tough and when she has to fight for her own survival and for her family, I like the fact she's very proactive, and that really works. But I haven't read the book, but this story and the reviews I've read, this is kind of stretched out, and I did feel like you could lose 20 minutes of this movie, especially there's scenes where there's a neighbor upstairs. You can kind of lose those scenes. There's kind of a lot of dead air, which you feel the weight of in this movie, and it could have been compacted. And I'm going to be completely honest, because I've gone backwards with Laika. I actually think if I saw this movie and I never knew Laika was going to do another movie, I think this movie would have just been average. I would have just been like, nah, it was whatever, because overall, it's exactly what I've seen from stop motion, Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, all these other stop motion movies. This is what you've come to expect. But the only thing I will praise it for is the one thing I've noticed about Laika in their movies, as the plot moves on, they do more with the stop motion as the movie progressively goes on to its climax. They did so many things with the stop motion animation as the movie progressed that just they played with it more and more and more. There's scenes where they're taking color away or they're taking the animation away. They're draining the life out of the animation. Coraline's running away. The last 15 minutes are the best. I mean, it looks great. They do great climaxes in all of their movies. The climaxes for all their movies have been good. And again, because this is I don't want to say it's horror themed, but it's very, very dark with his theme. And Neil Gaiman writes those kind of stories, so it works perfectly well here. I didn't end up loving this movie, but this movie is very highly regarded and people speak about this movie very well. And I guess it's more, I don't want to say it's even scary for kids, but it's on that level of the Nightmare Before Christmas, that it's a little bit more than a children's movie, but it's not too scary. I enjoyed it, but I did feel the dead space. I really felt like they could have lost 20 minutes here. They cast great when it comes to voice acting. Terry Hatcher, probably remember from Desperate Housewives and Lois and Clark, phenomenal. And the main actress, I can't remember her name right now, she was great. The whole cast was good. The characters were good. I think this was a really good adaptation. The character designs, the models they used for the stop motion, I didn't really like them. They looked very off. But then again, I didn't read the Neil Gaiman book. I'm not even sure if it's a comic or a book. That they might have copied that style. But again, against the future movies, I'm trying to judge this movie on its own. But because I'm doing a retrospective, I'm trying to draw a connective string through all of their movies. I think this is a great starting point. I think the fact that Laika chose to adapt a story instead of creating the original story for their first movie was a really good idea. I think this really gave them the confidence to show their style. And as they've moved on, I think they've learned how to create a good story on their own. All the Paranorman Box Trolls, Kubo, these are all original stories to my knowledge, and they've done really well with them. And I think using this first movie as an adaptation was a very good idea, and it's a good starting point for them. But I don't think this movie's great. I really don't. It's just okay. It's a really good children's movie, but I'm gonna rank all the movies right now. This is my ranking for how I feel, and I know this is gonna be third because I think Kubo, Paranorman, this, and then Box Trolls is an easy last. So that's my list, and I would give this an okay. It's just okay. I don't know if it's aged well because I'm just watching it now. People might love it. People might disagree with me. People might like the book more. I think it's okay. Coraline as a character wasn't exactly likable. Maybe if she was more endearing, would have brought me in. But a lot of the themes were good. This felt like a fantasy book adaptation, and they did a good. And I'm just regurgitating everything I said before. But honestly, I think it's a very good adaptation. It's a fun movie, but again, Laika have upped the ante throughout the years, and I'd like to see as a starting point, good. they've improved over the years and they've gotten better and better and better, except for Box Trolls. So, all right, so we're at the end now, and I just want to give my thoughts on Laika as a studio in general. When you look at it from the beginning, from Coraline to Kubo, they've evolutionized, is that the right word? They've really excelled in the stop animation, and from this movie to Kubo, the detail, the imagination, the creativity has just really skyrocketed, and I'm really impressed with Laika. And again, I never really put a lot of thought into stop motion, you know, because it's an extremely hard form of animation. If you asked me my favorite stop motion movie now, James and the Giant Peach was okay. The Adventures of Tom Thumb is really weird, and most of these stop motion movies, a lot of the most popular ones are actually done by Brits. The Wallace and Gromit stuff, again, James and the Giant Peach. I just always thought that the British excelled in stop motion, but Laika have taken it to the next level, and it just really hurts me that Kubo, such a phenomenal, honestly, this movie was the best movie, one of the best movies out of the 2016, one of the best animated movies I've seen in the last probably in the last 5 years. See, it is really that good, really heartwarming. It's a very simple story, but again, this movie had the Studio Ghibli, the Pixar effect. Simple story, heartwarming characters, and I still can't believe, I said this in the Kubo review, I still can't believe this is their least profitable movie in the box office. It is their best, it's earned the least, they're losing money. Laika as a studio are losing money. It's a shame because they've only gotten better with the stop animation cinematography, with the storytelling overall, and they have a good track record, and I just really hope that most of their movies become cult classics, even though I think Paranorman and Kubo are the two that really Kubo in particular deserves cult level, but I don't know about the rest of them. They range from good to very good to okay. So that's my thoughts on Laika. I really hope the studio excels, but I want to know you guys' thoughts on the studio. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. And you know, it was nice to focus on Laika. I had no idea. I mean, their name, I don't think they've really promoted their name as a studio enough to let you know Laika Studios is a big deal. And maybe that's just because they haven't made enough money to do that. But it's really sad for me to see them come under hard times financially. But hopefully they rise from the ashes, or they get another supporter, sponsor. There's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of windfall the company gets. They deserve it. All I can hope for is that their Blu-ray and DVD sales on Kubo excel. I'll be buying it just on principle and on the fact that they need the money, they need your support. And you know, I noticed this little retrospective I've done on Laika has been very rushed, not very professional. I'm on holiday at this time of recording. I'm on holiday, so I would have done it a little bit more polished. But I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on all 4 movies. It'll be in the animation playlist if you want to check out the other videos I did, or I might put it in the YouTube card up there. So, but again, let me just stop rambling. Those are my thoughts. All the Laika movies on Celebrate International Animation Day month for 2016. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see the other stuff we do on Planet Tyro, click on the annotation on the right over there. Books, movies, TV shows, the podcast, all the other stuff we do. Thank you for watching, and thank you for watching the other videos I've done this month. And just thank you for sticking with Planet Tyro and subscribing to the channel. I love you guys' interaction. I appreciate you guys celebrating International Animation Day month with me. But until the next one, guys, I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care. Peace out.